Hi, I'm Lynette Allen. Welcome to this page. Now, if you've clicked on this page and been directed to this link from somewhere on the web, it's because you're a female entrepreneur. You might have followed me in my journey recently, or you might have come to this page through somebody else's link. Either way, you've found yourself here. And if you're feeling a bit stuck in your business right now, then this is the place to be. Female entrepreneurs are in control of their entire business world, and we chose that route. Many of us, like me, like you, we wanted to do this. We took the plunge. We said to ourselves, I'm going to go out on my own. I'm going to make this work. And we had every intention of doing that, and we do it, but sometimes it gets a little bit tough, and we don't always have the resources to our fingertips, the ones that we need right there and then. And I've certainly been there. So this video series is about how to get more clients. It's about how to increase your visibility. And it's really about how to charge your worth. Now, you can look up all types of techniques to be doing that. You can talk to all kinds of experts. You've probably implemented some of those marketing techniques and they probably haven't worked, and you're wondering why they haven't worked. Is it to do with lack of budget? Is it to do with you don't have enough contacts? Is somebody else over there succeeding because they've got something that you haven't? Well, let me tell you, I thought that for so many years. I've been in this business 20 years, and it just seemed to elude me how some people were really successful, and I just seemed to be stuck in the same place. And I did struggle. I did have everything that you had. I felt isolated. I didn't have anybody to ask half the time, and I certainly used to get caught up in that negative mindset trap that used to wake me up in the middle of the night with fear, thinking that I can't do this, that this isn't for me, that I'm not a very good business owner. I've told people before, I'm not a very good business owner. I used to do that, and now I realise that all I needed to do was work on me. Because I've had clients where those marketing techniques and the newsletters and the Facebook ads and everything they've been directed to hasn't worked. And we've all at times wondered, why isn't this working for me? They said to do it like this, I'm doing it, but it's not happening. And I want to tell you that you're not on your own. There are thousands of entrepreneurs just like you trying to make it work. And what I've realised over my time is that the difference between the ones who are really excelling and flying, they are in flow. They are in the zone, and they know how that feels. They know how to get in flow. They're not in flow all the time, but they have techniques to get them back into flow really quick. You know, life happens to women, you know. We have all kinds of things going on. I've certainly had my share. If you know my story, I've had all kinds of things in my life, just like you. Back in the days when I was married to my first husband, he was at work an awful lot. I spent all my time on my own in my home office with nothing but 2 dogs for company. They were my team. They were my teammates. They were the ones I spoke to during the day. They were the ones that I took for the walk when I couldn't think straight anymore and I needed to clear my head. And actually, they were my best buddies for many, many times. But they weren't what I needed to really help me to excel as a businesswoman. And I was stuck. And I was isolated, and I had no real person to ask. I certainly didn't have access to mentors. I didn't have access to huge clients. I didn't even have a massive contact list. It was just me on my own in my office, and I was like that for probably a good part of a decade. And I did well. I built up a certain profile, but I'm doing much better now. My profile has far exceeded now anything that I thought I could do. And it's because I learnt these 3 magical steps to getting the business you want. And that's what this series is about. This is about teaching you what I learnt, and I still use these techniques every single day. Just because somebody has reached a certain level of success, don't ever think that they don't strive for more. I know that the sky is my limit now, and I will be climbing up further and further, but I know how to do that now. I've learnt it. It's kind of like, I feel it's like a rite of passage. And I think every female entrepreneur, particularly females, because we're often starting businesses at home, we're often starting businesses around children and pets. We're often just stuck with a laptop and a mobile and the internet. And it's really hard sometimes to know where to start. And when you do get going, sometimes the momentum can be really hard to build. And that's when these techniques are going to come in really handy. So, what am I going to teach you? I've got it written down here. In video 1, I'm going to be teaching you about mindset. Now that can sound quite fluffy, but this is anything but fluffy. This is the most powerful tool I have found. And I have used it in the past. I mean, even years ago, I was always more positive than negative, and I'm not really just talking about being positive. Although a positive mental attitude, as you know, will give you far more reach than a negative attitude will ever have. But this goes much deeper than that. This is setting you up so that your day starts just on the perfect pitch to be able to attract what you want. Now, I have a morning routine. Some of you, if you follow me on Facebook, might know about that morning routine, but I'm going to tell you in detail what I do. I'm also going to tell you in detail what some of my clients do. Now, when they get up and they do this morning routine, it sets them up to earn thousands that week. And they do so, and they believe they do that, not because of marketing techniques, not because of budget, not because of contacts, but because of how they set themselves up in the morning before they even open their laptop. Now, I used to have 2 dogs, as you know, as I've already told you. And I used to follow this guy called Caesar Milan. He's the dog whisperer. You might have heard of him if you have a dog. I loved watching his stuff. I still love watching him, even though I don't have a dog anymore. But one thing I always remember, he never used to train the dogs. He always used to train the people. And he used to say that you have to be in the right mental state to take your dog for a walk, even before you pick up the lead. And it's a lot like this. You have to be in the right mental state when you wake up in the morning before you even open your laptop. And I have since learned that that is how real entrepreneurs actually work. They use those techniques. And since I've used those techniques, my success, my ability to attract clients, my ability to put out energy in the world has really, really shifted. I've noticed a massive difference in my business, and I think you can do that too. Video 2 is all about using fear to propel you. Do not think that successful female entrepreneurs are not scared anymore, because every time we reach a pinnacle that we wanted to reach, there's always another one right behind it. We're never actually satisfied for very long with where we are. So we look up all the time. We look up to the next step, and boy, that's scary. And yes, there's the same fear that was there back when I first had my very first client 20 years ago. And do you know what happened when I first got my client 20 years ago? I sent her so much information, so many forms to fill out. She was a coaching client that had been recommended to me by my mentor. I sent her so much stuff that I hoped she would never fill it all in and get back to me. And my prophecy came true. She never came back to me. I never coached her. I don't even remember her name. That was fear. Now, I don't do that anymore. I don't let fear make me hide or shrink. I gather it and I use it as energy to propel me forward. I still have it. The female entrepreneurs that you look up to, they might be interviewed on massive radio shows. They might be on the front pages of magazines. They might have glossy spreads. They might have shops. They might be big names. I've spoken to some of them. I know some of them. They're still scared. They're still reaching that bit higher, but they use it and they center themselves in a way that I've only recently learned in the last few years. And it's massively important. It works so much better than any marketing technique you will ever know. I'll also be talking about comfort zones in that video. We all have comfort zones, even when we've got massive success behind us, we've got books behind us like me. I still have my comfort zones, and we'll be talking about yours, and we'll be asking you questions about how you can increase your comfort zones. That's another real way to get your energy up, so that you attract those clients, so that you're much more visible and so that you can charge your real worth. Video 3. This is a massive one. Engaging your team 100 and your core 5. What do I mean by that? If I asked you to write down the names of 100 people you could call on for help with your business, could you do it? I was asked to do that by my mentor some years ago, and I didn't have a clue where to start. I thought I don't even know 100 people, but trust me, I did. And you do too. So this is about using who you have. This is about collaborating. Now know this, successful women do not do it on their own. That is worth repeating. Listen to me carefully. Successful businesswomen do not do everything on their own. They may have teams, they may have paid teams around them, but initially they did not start out like that. They started out like this, by employing their core, engaging their team, their 100. Then comes next the core 5, because out of that 100, there will be 5 people who will really be able to stimulate you and support you and build your support network. That's what you're going to need, and that's what this all takes. Now in my last video, there are 2 more secrets I'm going to wrap up in that last one. Now they are the real cheese on the pie, they are the strawberries on the ice cream. They are absolutely the last 2 things you will need to really understand how to move this differently, because we're not talking about a strategy that starts with a spreadsheet. We're going to ditch those. We're not talking about Facebook ads, we're not talking about numbers, we're talking about you. Because I learned a long time ago now that if I didn't work on me, no amount of marketing was going to help my business. No amount of Facebook ads or little memes with my web address on were ever going to help my business. I had to start in here. And these are the ways I did it. And in that last video series, I'm going to show you the last 2 secrets of really elevating your success so that you do get more clients and you are much more visible. And people can find you so that you can start charging your real worth. That's what I've done. And I know you can do it because I take my private clients through it now, and I also take the women that come through my Female Entrepreneurs Academy. They do that now. They start off thinking it's going to be technical, and some of it is, but actually what we're talking about in this video series is how to propel yourself from in here. How to build your worth in here so that when you shine into the audience, they're going to see you properly for who you really are. So I want to work with you on this. This is a free video series. You just click the button below. Let me know what you think. I want to hear from you how some of these strategies worked. It'd be my complete pleasure to hold your hand through this series. I've done it myself. I teach people all the time. And now I want to teach you. So if you're willing to do something different, each video will probably be around about half an hour. If you're willing to invest a couple of hours of your time listening to me, soaking up the information, thinking about your routines and your habits, if you're ready to implement change, then this is for you. And I'm here to help you. I will hold your hand, and my promise to you is that you get me. You get all of me, just as I am, usually in a field in my back garden in Mallorca. This is where I most love creating. It's where I most love to sit when I feel like I really need to think about my next strategy. And it's where I'll take you. So you could imagine you're under this tree with me if you want. Pull up a chair, sit down with me, and I'll talk you through exactly how I did it and exactly how you can do it too. I really look forward to working with you. Bye for now.